Hello, hi, and welcome to Inimba recap. Now, Auntie and Tomega's marriage is on the rocks. When I tell you that these two are heading for divorce, my heart broke for Younger when she had to listen to her parents screaming and yelling at each other. Honestly, I do not know why they do not see divorce as an option, because clearly they cannot even stay together or share a house. But I do believe that Hlati and Tumega's marriage is over and done with. They are definitely heading for a divorce. Now the big question is, where will Tumega stay? That's the big ask, right? Where will Tumega stay? Because you remember she wanted to move out of the house, but she couldn't find accommodation. Zolega and Lazarus couldn't accommodate her. Also, Tandega and Tulani could not accommodate her. She found herself with no choice but to come back to Hlati's house. Since then, they have not been co-living nicely. So, if Tumega does file for divorce, my big question is, where will she stay? And how will they divide their assets? Because they do have assets. If she's filing for divorce, Hlati cannot just get the whole house. It's half Tumega's house and half Hlati's house. So yeah, I'm interested to see how will their divorce go on about. Now, enough about the Mabantlas. Let's go to the Nguganas. Oh, Sanalwami, Zolega, my dear. What have you done? What have you done? What have you stirred? Because listen, Auntie, Udawabo, Udabs does not take this whole thing of her son being sidelined lightly, and her finding out that it was actually Zolega's idea. I think it hurt her even more. She was just like, what? This whole thing was Zolega's idea. They were like, yes, my darling, yes, my babe. The whole thing was actually Zolega's idea. And you could tell the hurt in Dawabo's eyes. Like, she was hurt. Like, she was very much hurt. And it seems like also Azande is struggling. The client wasn't happy. The client wanted to talk to the Ngoganas and not to him. So I think this whole thing will just be used into saying that Azande is not ready to be a leader, and therefore they will try to groom him into being a leader. But clearly, Udawabo is not happy, and Udawabo is just like, a touch is a move. A touch is a move. Like, how dare you? How dare you? A touch is a move, and from now on going forward, honestly, I don't know how they will live, how they will find their co-living strategies. But yeah, it definitely, for me especially, it does not look good at all. I don't see it being like, I don't know, I don't see a good outcome. Honestly, I should be honest with this, but I could be surprised. That's that's the whole situation. But when Umpumi was trying to get close to Gabriel again, to say, Gabriel, you are my alpha and omega, my family. I know that my family are not good people, but you are legit one of the best things that has ever happened in my life. I love you so much. You mean the world to me. Gabriel pushed Mpumi away. He was like, no, I don't want anything to do with city banks. Like, I do not want anything to do with city banks. I don't want anything to do with you either. Like, get away from me. Get away from me. Mpumi was left confused. Mpumi was left confused. Like, what do you mean I must get away from you? Like, what do you mean? Like, I mean exactly that. Get away from me. Be as far away from me as possible, because you and your family, like, Mpumi is left devastated. Mpumi is left devastated and just not understanding how love can be this cruel. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mpumi. I'm sorry. I am. I know you don't deserve what you're going through. I mean, no one does. But yeah, life is cruel sometimes, most of the times. And I think most of us just have to find out the hard way that life is never fair. And most of the times, life is cruel, like really, really cruel. Yo, Bongo did it again. Bongo did it again. I chose Marona over Owetu on their Lobola day. Now, as soon as Marona called Bongo and stated that she is in trouble, the trouble that she put herself in, okay? Because who trusts Gabriel? Who trusts Gabriel? So guess what Bongo did? It dropped everything. All the Lobola negotiation ran after Maruna. As soon as Bongo's uncles find out that Bongo is not present for his Lobola, they decided that they are cancelling everything and they are going back to KZN. And Felicia tried her best to keep everything together, but without Bongo, everything seems to be falling apart. And eventually, Felicia had to let Owetu's mother know that there won't be any Lobola negotiation. The way that Owetu's mother was disappointed, and now she had to let Owetu know that no, it seems like it's not happening, not today. There won't be any Lobola negotiation. Owet went crazy, went straight to Felicia's house. Felicia was panicking, saying she too does not know how to fix this because Bongo's phone is off. Also, if Bongo's intentions were pure, like a simple phone call would have resolved all this. A simple phone call, he would have called his uncle and saying, listen, right now I have to show up for Maruna. Also, there are emergencies, okay? There is a time that you're having emergency with your family that you are trying to put first, which if he is choosing to marry Owetu, therefore it means Owetu is his family now. His wife comes first. He could have said, I'm sorry Maruna, but I cannot come and assist you right now. And I know that Maruna was definitely in a dire situation. She needed help. But for Bongo to drop everything and run after Maruna, that was just so wrong. Anyway, Owetu figured it out that Bongo might be with Maruna, so she drove to Maruna's house, found Bongo and Maruna together. She went crazy and she was just like, Maruna, babe, I cannot believe that we were just praying like 2 seconds ago. Me and you were praying, we're making peace. You promised me that you are over Bongo, that you will never ever in your wildest dream come after Bongo. But look what's happening now. Look what's happening. You are coming after Bongo. Like, what is all this? Okay, I mean, Maruna was just really trying to explain her side, saying no, it's not true. Bongo also was trying to say no, it's not true. But yeah, the situation and the position that they looked in really did say a lot, okay, than what they intended to say with their mouth. So it seems like Owetu will reach a breaking point and she will decide to just drive off. And the most coincidence thing will happen when Owetu vanish out of the thin air, okay? I am so scared and so hurt for Owetu because I don't know if she might decide to self-harm herself. Like, is she gonna self-harm herself? You know, is she gonna harm herself? You know? But we do not know. But yeah, it seems like a lot is going to be happening on Genesis this week with the pastor's family fighting with the Felicia's family. Like, there won't be any getting along whatsoever, and with Owetu disappearance, things will not be looking good for Bongo at all. And Felicia is just like, listen Bongo, I'm tired of your story. I am tired of Bongo's story as well. He had so many chances to make up his mind and decide who really does he wants to be with. Does he wants to be with Owetu? Does he wants to be with Maruna? But over and over again he has shown that he is over Maruna. But there is no way that as soon as Maruna snap her fingers, you are there. Like, that's so disrespectful, and abandoned your own day to go and rescue another woman. Like, Maruna is not your responsibility anymore. Owetu is. And I get what I'm saying may sound wrong and cruel because really Maruna needed help. But yeah, Maruna is not Bongo's problem. I'm sorry. Maruna is not Bongo's problem. Maruna could have called Her uncle could have called anyone, but she chose to call Bonko. Maruna, babe, that's so wrong, out of line. Could have called Wendy. Wendy know how to fight, Maruna's mom knows how to fight. Could have called Wendy, but she chose to call Bonko. I am so sorry, Maruna. You were out of line, because you and Bonko really have nothing to do with one another. Candy, what kind of a person is Gabriel? What kind of a person is Gabriel? Did he not sell Maruna to some strange man, who is promising to invest in his records? Revelation records. Like, Gabriel is not a good person. Gabriel is not a good person. No one can convince me otherwise. And the funny fact here is that Maruna was extremely excited. She was like, yes, I feel it, that this is gonna work out. If I go here, I'm gonna come back a biggest star, biggest singer. I'm gonna achieve my dreams and my goals. Like, I'm just gonna be a big person that I've always wanted to be. Auntie, little does the girl know that no, that's never gonna be the case, okay? That's not the case, because Gabriel organizes his own shenanigans. Organizes her own shenanigans with some guy who just wanna have a good time with Maruna. Like, who told Gabriel that Maruna is for sale? Oh, Sana, I am disgusted by Gabriel's behavior. Anyway, Maruna will decide to call Bonko, who's supposed to get married. Oh, Sana, this whole thing is just gonna be Angazi. I do not know how to explain it. But yeah, I feel sad for Owetu. Owetu is not going to see her dream wedding, not this week at least, because Bonko will be busy consoling Maruna, who is going through a traumatic experience. And I wonder how will this change Maruna's contracts with Gabriel. Will then Maruna decide to come back to Genesis? Because what is she doing with Gabriel in the first place? Gabriel is not a good person, and no one can convince me otherwise. Babe, here's bad news. That really, Mpumi and Maruna, they had a mother. They had a mother like Wendy Sidibeng, okay? She goes like, no, you guys should fight. She locks them in the room and she lets them fight. Afterwards, she opens the room and she tries to kind of like school Mpumi to say, Mpumi, you shouldn't have bet your system. So Maruna goes as far as calling a family meeting. Like, guys, if you don't call Sidibeng family entertaining, I don't know if you will ever meet an entertaining family ever in your life. So the whole family is just a bit of like a circus. That's how entertaining they are. So Wendy goes like, no, I did reprimand my children when they were fighting. I did tell them that it's wrong to fight. And Mpumi goes into agreeing with Wendy to say, how Mama, yes, you did. So I don't know why is Maruna being so traumatic and going as far as calling their family meeting, And the uncle there says, no, Gabriel is a rich man. He takes care of you, Mpumi, and he should continue taking care of you. And I don't see anything wrong. If Gabriel wants to marry Mpumi, so be it. This is when I was convinced to go to, Sana, there is no hope within the Sidibeng family. Like, I'm so sorry, but there is no hope. Anyway, guys, getting into what's gonna happen this week, because what I'm just trying to give you is what happened Friday. Let's look into what's going to happen this week. So this week, we are seeing Bongo and Owetu preparing for their wedding. Even Owetu's father, the pastor, gave his blessings for Bongo to marry his daughter, okay? So it seems like they're going to be preparing for their traditional ceremony, and Maruna will be served with divorce papers. She will be like shocked and shattered about this whole situation thing, and she will even be crying about it, But then
I don't know. I feel like something will happen. Something in the midst of the mixed. I don't know if this marriage between Owetu and Bongo will happen, because it seems like Maruna will call Bongo. Bongo will abandon his marriage or his wedding and go and save Maruna. And I guess this is why people say this to have a strong bond. I'm sorry, I do not see it, but most people are convinced that these two have an unshakable bond. She could easily defend herself that actually this is her ex-husband's house, so they are actually in the Tabetes right now. They are not in the Gigabas. So if ever they are looking for the right people to claim the body, they should actually go to the Gigabas. That was her last defense. But she is left shaken in disbelief, So when Gabrielle came back home, she found out that the locks of the gates and everything else have been changed. She's asking the helper to move the clothes from the main bedroom to somewhere else, because, she is at the stage where she's just like, listen, I don't want anything to do with that Gabriel. I don't want him here next to me. Like, I want nothing. I don't want to be just even 5 meters square close to Gabriel at this point in my life right now. Hi, Gabriel being Gabriel, find out now his wife has finally been informed about this secret and all that. But then he still demands that he's the man of the house. Everything else should run by him, and he's not going anywhere. Mistakes happened, men shits all the time. It's not a big deal. Oh, sana, as I'm a daughter. Like one day, just one day, we shall all be, executed or whatever. Because how are you? Like, how did you pray such on a young girl like Marona and come back to your wife and be like, nope, it's so what? I prayed on a young girl. It's really not a big deal. These kind of things happened all the time. So what's the big deal? Say, the big deal is that the girl is young. What do you even mean, what's the big deal? But guess, Anna, for the sake of peace, Gabriel's wife, she understand. Mrs. Tabet was, what? To keep the peace in the house, to not cause chaos, so that she won't have to just explain herself also to the kids what's happening. Because it seems like, as much as Gabriel doesn't get along with Bonko, they are fighting over the CEO position. But Gabriel gets along with the other kids, especially the eldest daughter. Like, Gabriel gets along with this woman's kids. So she decided that, to keep the peace, because she tried to say, Gabriel, please, if there is anything, just anything that you can do for me, is to move out of my house. That's the only logic thing that you can think of doing for me right now. Move out of my house. But Gabriel is like, nope, we are married, and we said, ebuhleni nasebubini, and ebuhleni nasebubini we shall stand and we shall stick together. So since that was said, ebuhleni nasebubini, I guess Gabriel was just like, he is not living. Okay, so now Maruna comes to the house because now she's advised by her mom to say, listen, go to the house, don't tell Bongo the truth. There is really nothing good that's gonna come out from Bongo finding out really what's actually happened. And Maruna is just like, Mom, if I remember very well, you're the one who went to the Tabetes and told them exactly everything. Wendy is just like, listen, I made a mistake. Everyone make mistakes in this life. I'm just part of the people who makes mistakes. So what if I thought it was the right thing to do at the time, but now I realize no, what I did was wrong. It definitely wasn't the right thing to do, so I made a mistake. So I'm here trying to rectify my mistake. Shoots me then.